All right, Mike, we are live. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good, good. Finished off like we just finished off another really busy day in the office, which is spectacular.
Even on this rainy, dreary day, at least it's not snow. We were extremely busy today, which is great.
Yeah, which is great. So this is our, I think it's third, maybe fourth. Ask us anything, but you know, just want to say that before we begin, we are always collecting questions for these sessions. So if you have any questions, you can always, anyway, email, direct message, call us, tell us on your next visit. We're just collecting, collecting, collecting. But for this one, we have one fantastic question that has a lot of angles to it that we could talk hours on, but we're going to probably talk just, maybe 10, 12, 15 minutes on it. But it's a great question. So let me read it in its entirety, and then we'll just hopefully we could break it down in a cogent manner.
Absolutely.
Hello, I have a question for your Ask Us Anything event. I am a working mom with 2 kids, and we have a pretty busy schedule. I do want to reset my body once in a while and looked into 24-hour fasting option. Would you recommend it? Could this make a difference? As of what I read, I can only drink water, not even broth or other liquids. I don't want to lose weight or anything. It is really just to give my body a break. I am also open for other suggestions.
So before we start, we want to say that although we are doctors, you should check with your doctor first or your functional medicine practitioner um, before you embark on such an endeavor. This should not be misconstrued as medical advice. So that's
Yes.
the PSA. Yeah.
Yeah. So when we're talking about intermittent fasting, I'm comfortable telling just about anybody to do that on a regular, ongoing basis. But when you're talking about prolonged fasts, like 24 hours or more, that's something that you want to, work with somebody to help you get through it, at least for the very first time as well. And let's face it, there are some medical doctors, functional medicine doctors that take people through exceedingly prolonged water fasts with tremendous results. But that's something that you need to be watched very carefully when you're doing.
Yeah, you want to be under supervision if you do an extended fast for 100%. It's just being safe, and it would really benefit you to talk to your functional medicine or primary doctor about it.
Now, Mike, have you ever done a 24-hour fast
Yeah,
before? I have
24
not.
hour fast. I've done a 24-hour fast. It's not. Uh, I 98% of the time I intermittent fast, meaning my last meal's at 8 o'clock in the evening. I should say I finish eating at 8 o'clock in the evening, and 99% of the time I don't eat the next meal until 1 o'clock in the afternoon on the next day. And there have been times where I've just really just said, today I'm going to take a break and not have anything. I have never done it where I only have water. I would usually have, there we go, element right in there. So some electrolytes, uh, because I am still walking. I may be working, but I've done them several times. Several times. Yeah. How about yourself?
I have never done 24 hours. I've done
Okay.
18, 19, 20. You mentioned intermittent fasting, and I think that's if you're thinking about heading towards a 24-hour fast, my suggestion would be master the 14, 15, 16-hour intermittent fast first before you dive right into the 24-hour
Yeah.
fast. I would do that. I would make that a something habitual, most of the time before you try to do a 24-hour fast.
Yeah. I would say even do a 12-hour fast. Finish eating, finish up your last meal at 8 p.m. and don't eat again until 8 a.m. Like, it's 12 hours. Like there, it gives the body an opportunity to reset itself. It gives the body the opportunity to give digestion a break, starts to allow for breakdown of toxins in the body where digestion does not get in the way, especially when you're able to extend it. But I equate going from even a healthy lifestyle to a 24-hour fast. I equate that to basically you've been working out in the gym and then you do, your one rep max that next day. Like you've got to build, I believe, like yourself, that you got to build up to it.
Yeah, yep, I agree too. I have a lot of friends that do a dinner to dinner fast on a weekly basis.
Yeah.
And I think they look at it just like you. It's a reset, it's an extended break. Um, when you get through that 16, 17, 18 hours, you start that process of autophagy when your cells start cleaning themselves from the inside out. It's not only like a global rest for your digestive system, it's actually a cellular rest and a cellular regeneration. So it's a good idea for sure. You also mentioned element and electrolytes. I think we're both on the same page here. A few things. One, you don't just have to do it water. You could do black or green tea with no sugar, no milk, just the herbal tea.
Yep.
But I think I know, I'm going to say I pretty much know that if you're going to do a fast like this, keeping your electrolyte status in the right place is really, really important. If that's not in check, and even if you're doing this in the summer, you can get things like orthostatic hypertension. You can get dizzy. You're much easier to faint. But if you keep your sodium, potassium, magnesium in check, it's going to be a much easier route for you to accomplish.
Absolutely. And you do not have to use Element. You can use pickle juice. You can use olive juice. You can use bone broth is going to have a lot of that in it as well. A lot of the minerals and the content and collagen coming out of there too.
Yeah, I would say with the bone broth, if you want to do a true fast, you have to be careful though, because typically people say under 30 calories is going to keep you in that fast.
Right.
Sometimes bone broth has little bits of fat. Fat is caloric dense, so you
True.
may creep over. So
Right.
I guess it depends. I guess I would read if you're going to buy like a Kettle and Fire bone
Yeah.
broth or something, and it should tell you how many calories. And if it's under 30, I
Yeah.
would say you could do a bone broth as well.
Yep.
Or just simple, sea salt and lemon can get you through. But I can't see doing a prolonged fast without some sort of electrolyte mix for sure.
100%. 100%. It's just being safe.
The other thing too is if you drink, if you're a coffee drinker and you're drinking 2 to 3 to 4 cups a day, and then you try to do a 24-hour fast, and you're not drinking some sort of caffeine, whether it's tea or coffee, you're going to get a whopping headache. So if you want to avoid that, you may want to have maybe less, but a little bit of caffeine, because it's a caffeine headache is a miserable thing to experience. And it's not bad to reset yourself from caffeine either and take a break from caffeine, but it's something you should do that should be done over time too, and not a shotgun method as well.
Absolutely. In the past, in doing detoxes, standard process detox, which we carry, and trying to remove the caffeine, I can tell you in the past has been, just like you said, absolutely miserable. You can do it. I would recommend going from caffeinated to decaf, and then try to wean your way off completely in a detox. For a fast, that's a tough one. I think that creates some problems. You're going to get like you said, a whopper of a headache.
Yeah, when you want to detox from caffeine too, you can go from coffee to tea,
Right.
and you can go from black tea to like green tea, which has less
Yep.
caffeine. And you can go from green tea to white tea, which has less caffeine, and you
Yep.
can go white tea to hoji cha, which is even less caffeine. So there's ways to do it, but if you're going to do this occasionally and continue to drink caffeine, I would add some caffeine into the mix just so you're not totally miserable.
Yeah, absolutely. So you could do a 12-hour fast. You can do a 14, 16, 18, 20-hour fast. I would say build it up over time and do it once a month and see how, as Rob Wolf says, see how you look, feel, and function.
Yeah, some situations where I would be careful. If you're diabetic, I'd be very careful. I may not consider doing it, or under strict medical supervision.
Right.
And then the other thing I would highly consider is, if you do this fast, I would plan it very carefully, meaning other than walking, you're really not going to want to exercise that day.
Right.
Or you're not going to want to have a very busy day where you're running around with the kids and you're doing laundry and you're cooking and you're, I don't know, out in the garden. Like, it's got to be a day where you're really ready to, rest, meditate, watch, maybe binge watch a little Netflix, walk the dog, and not do much else. And also, work hard to have a kind of a stress-free day too. Keep that parasympathetic system really running high and stay away from that flight or flight stressed situation.
Especially if you've never done it before.
Right.
Even more important if you've never done it before, so you know what to expect. Absolutely.
So I guess to summarize, Mike, and see if there's anything that you want to add, is master intermittent fasting first. Consider electrolytes, and make sure you're not doing a lot of heavy lifting and exercising on the day you decide to do this.
Absolutely. I just want to pull up. The author is Jason Fung, Fung. He's written a couple of really good books, The Obesity Code, The Diabetes Code, and The Cancer Code. The Life in the Fasting Lane. I've had a couple patients that have done really well with fasting and multiple day fasting. And it's really your tolerance. A 24-hour fast is, again, not that big of a deal, but you're doing some remarkable, you're giving your body the opportunity to basically restore itself in that 24 hours. Great little tool to have in your tool belt.
Yep. I think that's about it. Again, we're constantly collecting questions.
Yep.
I hope you found this valuable, and we'll be back normal hours tomorrow with Dr. Charlie and Teresa and Dr. K, and Mike and I will be back in the office on Friday.
All right, guys. Have a great night.
Have a great night.
Bye.